Okay, so we look on the options in our file and setting for the applications. We'll come back to some of this as print canvas, export email as we're going forward. So export. Let's work on some project. You notice right here we have it in our workflow. The canvas is our first selection, and that's what we want started. So as we select canvas, it's almost our render workspace. Okay, and it can be smaller or bigger than other images. Then also on a canvas settings in our tool, we have it properties. One thing what I want actual point as we start touching toolbox, you'll notice is a docking. So I can drag and remove it, undock this and move to a different screen on other places. And sometimes when you work maybe on a field, you accidentally select it and the toolbox get lost behind the windows, or you want to put it back, you always can just click on the button to dock back, and it's help you to kind of put it in a place. So let's look now on a canvas settings, and you'll notice we have it almost everywhere, this arrow which has been revert you're changing. So if you modify something, you can reset to default. Okay, in canvas settings we have it preset, and you can already select from custom settings. If you select custom, it will go with your width and height. You can as foreground, so it's meaning when we import foreground image, our canvas will change to the size of the foreground image, or set as background. And of course the standards preset from A4, A5, or a different size of the inches or printing. This is make much easier. So let me show you one thing. So example, we have it right here, our canvas. I'll switch temporary to import so we can put it foreground and background. And we can just select them to import, or it support drag and drop. So example right here, foreground. Okay, we can take image, just drag and drop. You'll notice this is a raw image, so it takes sometimes a little bit time to upload. Okay, so right here we have it, our image. Let's go switch to background. Okay, and let's drop background. Okay, now we're gonna go back to canvas, and you notice on the size on the canvas, so our foreground is quite a bit large. So as we go to reset as foreground, you'll notice we resizing to fit the foreground in our image. And if we set as a background, so now we resize our to fit background, and we ignoring size of foreground. So when it's useful, example, if your camera is stationary and you just click button and you shoot, you maybe want to set as foreground. In this case, it will be same size, same position, and you have a different type of backgrounds with different sizes, and you can just switch them around. Or if, for example, you have one background like for the event with some event names and other stuff, you can put it that background as your main, like right here, and on this case the size will keep it same, and you can adjust by just scale your foreground if you need it. Okay, currently you'll notice it says custom settings, so we'll have it foreground and background. Let's keep it for now as a background canvas size. Also next you will notice we have it aspect, and this will affect if we switch to the custom or other size. So we can switch to the landscape or to the portrait type, landscape or portrait. We also have it options to switch on our resolution. By default it's a 300 dpi, which is about print resolution. You can go always higher if you need to go to retina, or to the lower 72. 72 is a default for the early monitors, 72 dpi. Most monitors will have it. However, in many cases, if you do for the print, you can go with at least a 300 dpi. Okay, and also you'll notice right here we have it width and height, and currently width and height set to background because it's before it's what was set as a background. So this is width and height for this image. You also can have it options to make a greeting card after as a sizing. If you prefer don't have it any background and just use it colors, you can always just select use the color, and you notice right here we have it on the background, and by clicking on the color you have it select We have your normal picker. So right here is like colors, or you can use it by default. So now as we work in our projects, we'll just probably using as a background, so we can adjust, and we'll just use one image. And again, if you need it, you can always click arrows to reset as a default presetting, so you can see our resolution is changed, the height, and let's go switch back to background on this point. So we have 300 dpi, same as a background. Also, one thing, when we start working more, you'll notice that as we import images, some information will start populating as we're adding data. And currently, right on the bottom, you can see foreground and background. It's for our batch processing, or to preview. We have two items right in this area. So let's look closer on them as well as import in the next tutorial.